A federal appeals court has ruled that George Santos' lawsuit against Jimmy Kimmel was correctly dismissed by a lower court, shutting down the disgraced former congressman's long-shot attempt to get damages over a late-night bit that turned his cameo hustle into comedy fodder. Photos: ABC U.S. House Office of Photography. A federal appeals court has ruled that George Santos' lawsuit against Jimmy Kimmel was correctly dismissed by a lower court, shutting down the disgraced former congressman's long-shot attempt to get damages over a late-night bit that turned his cameo hustle into comedy fodder. Santos had sued Kimmel, ABC, and Disney last year, arguing that Kimmel infringed his copyright, violated Cameo's terms of service, and committed fraud by using fake names to buy more than a dozen personalized cameo videos from him and then airing them on Jimmy Kimmel Live as part of a recurring segment called Will Santos Say It? A federal judge dismissed the 6 months later ruling that Kimmel's use of the clips was protected by the fair use doctrine because they were used for political commentary. Santos later appealed, claiming Kimmel had orchestrated the video's creation and that his use wasn't transformative enough to qualify as fair use. On Monday, the Second Circuit rejected that argument and upheld the dismissal. The court said Kimmel's segments were a clear case of commentary and criticism, protected under the fair use doctrine, and that Santos' other state law claims also failed to hold up. The ruling effectively ends Santos' case. Kimmel, for his part, has never seemed particularly worried about the whole ordeal. When Santos first threatened to sue, he joked on Jimmy Kimmel Live that getting sued by Santos for fraud would be like a dream come true. Santos is currently in prison serving a 7-year sentence for fraud. In a decisive smackdown for Schadenfreude, a federal appeals court has upheld the dismissal of disgraced ex-congressman George Santos' bizarre lawsuit against Jimmy Kimmel, ABC, and Disney, effectively ending the fallen politician's quixotic quest for payback over a viral late-night gag. The ruling, handed down Monday by the Second Circuit, reaffirms that Kimmel's cheeky use of Santos' cameo videos as comedy fodder falls squarely under the fair use doctrine, turning what could have been a costly legal headache into a punchline for the ages. The saga traces back to December 2023, when Santos, fresh off his explosive expulsion from the House of Representatives amid a cascade of scandals, sued Kimmel and his corporate overlords. At the time, the former New York Republican was hawking personalized video shoutouts on Cameo, the celebrity message platform, as a post-Congress side hustle. Desperate for cash amid mounting legal woes, Santos charged $200 a pop for awkward earnest clips where he'd dole out birthday wishes, pep talks, and even marriage advice, all while sporting his trademark grin. Enter Kimmel, the sharp-tongued host of Jimmy Kimmel Live, who saw gold in the absurdity. For his recurring segment, Will Santos Say It? Kimmel's team allegedly used fake names and personas to commission over a dozen videos from Santos. The results? Comedic catnip, Santos serenading fans with made-up lyrics, hyping fictional pyramid schemes, and unwittingly riffing on his own embezzlement charges. Airing the clips in early 2024, Kimmel framed them as satirical commentary on Santos' post-scandal reinvention, quipping on air, "This is what happens when a congressman who lied about everything turns into a discount Fyre Festival promoter." Santos fired back with a 50-page complaint alleging copyright infringement, fraud, and violations of Cameo's terms of service. He claimed Kimmel's orchestrated purchases tricked him into creating content that was then stolen for profit, demanding millions in damages. It was a long shot from the start. Santos, no stranger to courtroom theatrics, had already pleaded guilty to federal wire fraud and identity theft charges in August 2024, netting him a 7-year prison sentence. But the suit pressed on, with Santos appealing a swift dismissal by U.S. District Judge Joanna Sabert just 6 months after filing. In her initial ruling, Sabert didn't mince words. Kimmel's bit was transformative political satire, not theft. Fair use, she explained, shields commentary that critiques or pokes fun at the original work without supplanting its market, precisely what Kimmel did by juxtaposing Santos' earnest hustles with ironic captions, and host banter, Santos' appeal doubled down, arguing the segments weren't transformative enough and that the fake orders amounted to entrapment. But the Second Circuit panel judges Rosemary Pooler, Joseph Bianco, and Michael Park torched those claims in a terse 12-page opinion. Kimmel's use of the videos constituted classic fair use, commentary, and criticism, the court wrote, emphasizing how the clips were edited into a broader critique of Santos' public persona and credibility. They dismissed the fraud angle outright, noting no evidence of harm beyond bruised ego, and swatted away state law claims as preempted by federal copyright rules. Santos' arguments failed to demonstrate any error in the district court's thorough analysis. The judges concluded, sealing the case's fate. The decision ripples beyond one man's vendetta. In an era of viral memes and deepfakes, it bolsters protections for satirical content creators, signaling courts' reluctance to let public figures weaponize IP law against critics. Legal experts like Harvard's Lawrence Tribe hailed it as a win for the First Amendment, warning that a Santos victory could chill late-night TV and social media roasts alike. If every politician could sue over parody, we'd have no Saturday Night Live, Tribe tweeted, echoing sentiments from the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which filed an amicus brief in support of Kimmel. Kimmel, ever the unflappable showman, has treated the saga like performance art. When Santos first threatened legal action in late 2023, the host deadpanned on his show getting sued by George Santos for fraud would be like a dream come true. Who else gets accused of lying by the king of fibs? Post-ruling, Kimmel marked the occasion with a mock tribute segment, replaying a Santos cameo where the ex-congressman wishes bad luck on his enemies. George, if you're watching from the big house, this one's for you, Kimmel chuckled, before pivoting to a donation drive for fraud victims, subtly nodding to Santos' $355,000 restitution order. Santos, now 37 and inmate No. 948475009 at FCI Danbury in Connecticut, couldn't be reached for comment. Prison rules and all. His attorney, who declined to appeal further, called the outcome disappointing but not unexpected. Once a rising GOP star who fabricated a resume boasting Jewish heritage, Wall Street jobs, and 9/11's volunteerism, Santos' flameout serves as a cautionary tale of hubris. Expelled in December 2023 after a scathing House Ethics report branded him a serial fraudster, he's since become a punchline from TikTok edits to John Oliver takedowns. For Disney and ABC, the verdict is a clean escape hatch. The suit could have dragged on, tying up resources amid broader media battles over AI-generated content and defamation suits. Think Dominion vs. Fox. Instead, it underscores Jimmy Kimmel Live's enduring bite. The show just notched its highest ratings in months, buoyed by the buzz. As Santos serves out his sentence, eligible for release in 2031, the Kimmel clash cements his legacy, not as a lawmaker but as unwitting muse for America's jesters. In a statement, Kimmel's team kept it light. We're grateful the courts agree sometimes the truth is funnier than fiction. For fans of late-night levity, it's a reminder that even in scandal's shadow, laughter remains the best revenge.